Hey, welcome to Offend You. Today, I wanted to kind of go over some letters that were written in response to how the Republicans handled the Medicaid expansion bill. Um, Let me just say, full disclosure, I am a registered Republican. I view myself as to the right of the middle. Um, I guess you could label me as a conservative libertarian. Um, and it's funny because a lot of people are being dragged to the middle because of how extreme some of our parties are going. So, this is an article by the Representative Senator Ilana Rubel and Marianne Jordan. But I understand that these are opinion pieces, so these are very biased. This isn't, news reporting. This is people's, how they feel and shit. But it just pissed me off so bad because I voted for these people and they turn around and they fucked me in the ass. They fucked you in the ass. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to contact them. I'm going to do interviews. Um, the Wood River High opiate and the left versus right paradigm. I'll still update on those, but right now I really need to get to the bottom of this because it sounds like my own party just fucked me. So, let me say this. This is a warning to all of you Republicans in Idaho. If you fuck this, you fuck with our healthcare system, you will flip this fucking state blue. And yeah, I know. Everybody tells me that's impossible. No, it's not, motherfucker. It is not. What you did is enough to make me turn into an independent. I'm just pissed. I'll get to the bottom of this, and maybe I'm wrong about all of this. But the way it's sounding, fuck. Alright, so in the 2019 legislative session tied for the third longest session in Idaho's history, but it likely broke the record for the worst damage to the faith of the people in their government. I agree with that statement. Idahoans had to spend endless hours in committee hearings in the Capitol nearly every day this session, begging Republican legislators not to strip them of their rights and undercut their will. Yet, regardless of how many times our citizens overflowed committee rooms and despite the passion of their testimony, our citizens were systematically ignored. Last year, a grassroots movement of Idaho citizens, which they're talking about, that group called Reclaim Idaho. I'm investigating both Reclaim Idaho and the Idaho Freedom Foundation. Those are the two groups that are fighting about this Medicaid bill. Anyways, this grassroots movement is called Reclaim Idaho. It's about this dude from up north that got like this old bus, painted it, and getting the mess around. Grassroots movement Idaho citizens pulled off one of the most amazing feats in Idaho political history. After the legislature dropped the ball for 7 years on Medicaid expansion, our citizens stepped up and passed it themselves through Proposition 2 by 61%. And I did vote for Proposition 2. But somehow their voices did not get through to the Republican lawmakers, who spent the session relentlessly introducing bills again and again to repeal or dramatically undermine Medicaid expansion. Every time, citizens came out in droves to beg for Proposition 2 to be implemented, but the GOP majority would not listen and end up passing the worst Medicaid restrictions bill of all. I think they're meant to say of all time or something, I don't know. Hold on. There's no evidence. They have no evidence. Remember, this is just an opinion piece. I don't know what they mean by droves. What does that mean? Does that mean 5 people came in, or is that 500? I'm going to see if they have video of testimony. I'm going to go and watch it. I think like C-SPAN kind of thing. So I don't know how true it is about people begging the GOP. Because in all honesty, like, and maybe I'm trapped in the cult of personality, which I think Brian from High Impact Flicks. But the GOP, I thought, was the kindest, tolerant, like, for the people party, you know? And it sounds like, I mean, they sound like a Democrats wanting, or no, let me retract that. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. I don't know. I'm just pissed. All right. A bill that spends millions of dollars to hire a squadron of bureaucrats to hunt down the most vulnerable people in the state and strip them of Medicaid coverage. Holy shit. Previous versions at least had a work training requirement, I remember that, to help people get jobs. Because they put a work requirement in, they had like training, but they took that out. Every Democrat opposed this bill, which ended up spending millions above the cost of Medicaid expansion just to torment Idaho's poorest citizens. Now, I don't know if that's true. Now remember, these are Democrats. It's a hit piece against the GOP, just like GOP has hit pieces against Democrats. Just keep that in mind. Undermining medical expansion. Okay, this is what fucking pisses me off. Undermining Medicaid expansion was just the first salvo in the GOP's assault in Idaho voters. Long after the deadline for introducing new bills, a deadline apparently only enforced against Democrats, our GOP colleagues introduced the Revenge on Voters Act. Let me fucking read that again. Revenge on Voters Act. That stripped Idaho voters of their ability to bring ballot initiatives. Okay, so why did they do this? Let's go back for a minute. Reclaim Idaho. The grassroots movement I talked about from up north Idaho, they went around in their van and got the signatures needed to put this on the ballot so that the people could vote a law in. Well, that pissed the GOP off. They're like, fuck it, this is a red state. This is our state. Let's make it harder for people, well, in their minds, let's make it harder for liberals to get laws on the ballot for people to vote on. Bitch, what the fuck do you think that is going to do to your base? You just said, hey, fuck you. We are going to write the laws. We are going to take care of you. You just sit there and listen. Submit is what they're saying. They are saying, fuck you. We know better. You shut the fuck up. We will write their laws. You don't know shit. That is what they're saying. And that, if this Revenge on Voters Act is true, I want to call for the resignation for anybody that voted for it. This is something I never would have thought. Now, like I said, I've got to go get proof. I'm going to go get proof. I'm going to interview these fucking people because I'm pissed. How fucking dare you suppress people trying to get law on the ballot to vote for? Fuck you. Fuck you, GOP. Fuck you, Governor. Fuck you, Senators. Fuck you, Representatives. If I am wrong, I will retract and I will apologize. This is fucked up. I hope this isn't true. Revenge on Voters Act? Are you fucking kidding me? Why isn't this fucking news? Both the The Revenge on Voters Act stripped Idaho voters of their ability to bring ballot initiatives. Once again, hundreds of people showed up to testify against this egregious assault on voters' constitutional rights. Yeah, it is an egregious assault. It's not just an assault. They're fucking raping Idahoans. They're saying, fuck you. Again, the GOP supermajority completely ignored both the voices of Idahoans and the Democratic legislators fighting tirelessly to protect ballot initiative rights. If the Democrats are really fighting for this ballot initiative rights, I support them. Because it doesn't... Imagine if Idaho flipped. Imagine if it turned blue. Just imagine this, okay? And the GOP already passed this Revenge on Voters Act. Well, do you know what? You know what the Democrats are going to do? They're going to broaden it. They're going to expand on it. They're going to make sure that that state never turns red again. I mean, it's just like on the national stage. They'll pass laws like the filibuster law, and then when their side gets into power, they're like, shit, let's change it back. It's like, fuck. The pendulum can swing. And you motherfuckers are just helping it. Both the substance and the process surrounding the Revenge on Voters Act confirmed citizens' worst fears about their government. Legislation aimed at silencing voters was hatched in secret meetings between corporate lobbyists and GOP legislators. Hold on. There's a lot of shit coming out here that there's no proof. Okay, it's just kind of like me. I'm just fucking spouting off shit. But I don't know if they had meetings in secret. I don't know what lobbyists they met with. It should be public. If it is, I'll find it. If it's not, then like I said, I will be driving to Boise and interviewing these fucks. Oh, I'm so pissed. So there we go. We don't know if it was in secret. We don't know who or what right now. We just know that this happened. Hearings were arranged. Now, they might be secret. They might be saying because they didn't, the Democrats weren't involved. Hearings were arranged without adequate public notice, and public testimony was bypassed by GOP committee chairs. We are deeply thankful for the many Idaho citizens who persisted and kept coming day after day. While the GOP majority in the legislature didn't listen, we in the Democrat caucus heard you. We will fight. Okay, it's just fucking propaganda shit for the Democrat Party. Yeah, they're just saying how good they are. I guess they say, well, the GOP majority in the legislature didn't listen. Oh yeah, blah blah blah. We in the Democratic caucus heard you. We will fight to make sure we never see another session that is so steeped in secrecy, backroom deals, and disregard of the people's wishes. Fuck you. Don't tell me that it's only the GOP that fucking does this shit. You Democrats do it too. That's a fucking lie, and you know it. We are deeply proud of what our Democratic caucus was able to achieve this session against long odds. Okay, yes, I give you credit. You did, and I applaud you for getting that on the ballot, because that affects me. I need that. Without that, I couldn't get covered. With that, I was going to get covered. Now, who fucking knows? We passed legislation that will make real changes for Idaho families, including making it easier to install solar panels, requiring that all sexual assault kits be tested, and providing post-traumatic stress treatment for first responders. Good things happen when Democrat policy ideas move forward. Yeah. GOP politicians do not serve the state when they abuse their supermajority power by ramming special interest agendas down our throats. I agree. That is fucked up. But as proud as we are as our caucus, we are more proud of what the people of Idaho achieved. To our citizens, we say keep coming to the Capitol, keep filing committee rooms, and make your voices heard. You saved lives, you saved our constitutional ballot initiative rights this session. We, the Democratic Caucus, stand with you and will continue to fight and provide responsive government that you deserve. Fuck you. Yeah, they'll provide you government. Okay. Don't get sucked into this. There's no difference between a Democrat and a Republican. Okay, just the D and the R, it doesn't, the blue and the red, it don't fucking matter. They pick issues that they can disagree on so that they can divide us and, herd us like cattle to the voting polls. And we'll vote for our new master, that only half the country voted for their master, and the other country, or half of the country, didn't want that master. Anyways, like, subscribe, share, get this out. This pisses me off. This should piss you off too, and we need to hold these motherfuckers accountable.